projects that I know of do sell with their NFT a share of the company as equity, I guess. So does that like automatically make it a security, or is that fall into a different thing? Is that something that should be avoided for just the legal entity that it creates? Any opinion on that?
Yeah, thanks for the question. It's a good question. So essentially, for those who weren't able to hear, the question is, if you have an NFT and all of a sudden you attach a security to it, right? So you buy the NFT, you get a share in the company. Does that make the NFT itself a security? I would say it really depends. Can you decouple them, right? Because you can buy the piece of art and turn down the security. But if they're together and they come together, then you're essentially selling a security wrapped as a piece of art. So it would be. Any other questions? Yep. IP? Yeah, so the question is about NFTs and IP in the US. It's a gray area. So in an area that that's a very specialized area with the transfer of intellectual properties. I don't deal with that. I have another, that's a specialist attorney. I generally deal with the securities, commodities laws, right? The FinCEN, AML, all these considerations. IP is just very specialized. It would be like asking me about tax as well. So unfortunately, I can't really delve too much into it. I know it's a hot area, but apologies. Sorry?
Could you think it could influence the qualification of a security or not?
So the way I could see IP really coming in to impact the securities law analysis is if you're sharing in the revenue streams of future sales of a work of art, right? So if there's like 1 of 1,000, right? And all of a sudden you get a share of every subsequent sale, you really need to analyze that, right? Because now you've got a relationship going forward. How was that presented? Was that presented as the opportunity to buy this piece? Was it presented as an investment? Because you can actually have something that's not a security, but it's advertised or marketed in such a way to create a security. In other words, because going back to the original test, you have to have an investment of money in a common enterprise, me and you working together, or all of you purchasers being together, and expect a profit from the efforts of others. So again, if the IP is only valuable, if you're going to be collecting royalties from IP, I think you might be getting into the area of securities, and this happens a lot. I had various clients kind of want advice around, especially in music royalties, right? So you buy a song, or you can buy a share of a song, and then it's like the more money it makes, the more you can generate. But that's an area that my advice was that would look like a security.
Hi. What's your opinion about the securities laws? These laws were created many years ago. The world is evolving, and this technology is a disruption. So, in your opinion, the securities laws, as they are applicable to these new technologies that are emerging, or not?
Yeah, it's a really good question. So the question, for those who weren't able to hear it, is what's my opinion on the securities laws? Very antiquated laws that are now being applied to very new technology. And so I'm going to take a very U.S.-centric approach to my answer, and it's really, as of late, it's this latest administration that really coats my response here. But I really do think that the securities laws, as currently applied in the U.S., essentially kill most projects in the space. There is no way to abide by them and have a functioning project. And the reason is because once something is a security, there's a lot of requirements that come with that. It's not just simply registering, which in and of itself is very difficult to do in the US, and very few companies have ever been able to successfully go through the registration process and then maintain that registration process. So there is no real path. But once you are registered as a security, every single transaction, every sale, has to go through a registered broker-dealer. There's two right now that are able to deal in digital asset securities, and they just got their licenses after having applied for like 5 years ago. So there's, again, not really a path. Think of, if you're just thinking of just regular digital assets, one use case that at least excites me is micropayments. These micropayments open up this entire new business model that wasn't able to happen before. If the asset, the digital asset is a security, micropayments you can't do it. Just the mechanisms aren't around there to do it. So in the U.S. right now, the securities laws are crushing projects, crushing innovation, and everything is moving abroad. And that's why I'm actually happy to be here, because so all of a sudden I find myself reading MICA and figuring out what those laws and that approach. And just case in point, if you look at the new actions by the SEC against Coinbase and Binance, you got to take Gary Gensler at his word. Everything that everything other than Bitcoin to him is a security. And this is my opinion. I think if you gave him a few drinks and caught him in the back of a bar and made him feel really good, he'd say that Bitcoin itself is also a security. But NFTs are different. NFTs are different, right? Just making that, it is, like I said, I've dealt with this a long time, and I've dealt with NFTs mostly when it's come by my desk, it's questions about like music NFTs, sharing of royalties, those royalty streams, how to continue and incentivize the purchase of these assets. That's normally when it comes to my desk, and unfortunately, there's just no real path that I have found for those assets. All right. Well, this is last chance. All right. Well, look, I really appreciate everybody attending. I appreciate all the work that everybody's doing in this space. I think it's wonderful. I'm a huge fan. Everything that I said here today, it's these are my personal opinions. They don't reflect on my company, the HBAR Foundation. So I'm going to be around if anybody has any questions and just doesn't want to, chime in now and ask, which happens a lot. Just tap me on the shoulder. Happy to discuss it.